Tamra Judge is in the house hanging with us. It's great to see you.
Oh, it's nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
Your first time here on our set.
I think it is. I'm looking around like, this does not look familiar.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you.
It's great to be here.
So, Real Housewives of OC back. And with the launch of this season 18, it's the 100th season of the Housewives franchise.
Isn't that crazy?
Wild, but makes sense. What does it feel like for you to have been inside of it for all these years?
Very old. Tired. No, I mean, it's exciting. I came on season 3 of Orange County when it was just this little show. There was no other franchises out there. And I don't know how I got on. I was shocked, as everybody else was. And I kept thinking season after season, this is my last. Oh, they're going to fire me. Oh,
so you didn't think you wouldn't anticipate you'd be here this long?
No, I had no idea. None.
What's kept you coming back?
You know what? It's just, I was gone for 2 years.
Yep.
And then I came back, and my 2 years off it was difficult because this was my life. And this has been my life for going on almost 2 decades. That's what's crazy. Yeah. And, I love it. I love the people, and I love everything about it.
How much drama are we going to see this season? Because I feel like every year you think you've seen it, and then the next season.
Oh, no, you're going to see it.
Yeah.
You're going to see it this season. There is a lot of drama, but there's also a lot of, fun times and laughter and friendships, and there's a lot more than just drama this season.
Yeah, you have relocated to Big Bear.
We have a second house in Big Bear.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
But still very much here. How are you splitting your time?
That's exactly what I'm doing, splitting my time. So I will leave today, this week on Friday. I'll go to Big Bear, and it really depends on my schedule. I'm super busy. I have 3 podcasts. We have a CBD business. So it all depends on, and then press, and the show's out now. So my life is really, really busy. Ideally, we would like to be there a week, and then Orange County a week, and then Big Bear a week. And also depends on the season. So the snow season, it's good for a week, and then you're like, I'll see you in a few weeks. Because it's cold.
Yeah. What do you think it is about Housewives that continues to just draw people in, and more people in, by the way?
I think that people really like to look into other people's lives. And it's just intriguing to them. They love seeing, maybe my life isn't that messed up. Or maybe they look at it as I love watching Beverly Hills. And it's because I love seeing their lifestyle. I love seeing the restaurants they go to. I love seeing the clothes that they're wearing. Now at 2 Teas in a Pod, we recap all these shows. So every show is different to me. So different. I love watching Dubai because I've never been to Dubai. I want to see the restaurants. I want to see, take me outside. So I just think that people just love watching other people's lives unfold.
So what I'm hearing you say is not only are you inside, your own world and a star of the show, but you're also a fan of the franchises.
I am a fan of the franchises. I watch every single episode.
Wow.
I usually watch it twice because then we recap them on the podcast. So I have to it takes me twice.
Yeah.
It takes me twice to really absorb everything. And I'm a super fan.
So after all these years of doing the show, when you watch back, do you ever have a moment and think to yourself, I really wish I wouldn't have done that or said that?
Oh, yeah, every year. Every year. So this year, I kept my drinking to a minimum. I tried. Here's the thing, I'm not a big drinker. We're very into fitness and health, and I'm in bed at 8, up at 6 in the morning, at the gym.
Yeah.
So when I film, it's like social drinking, except for a very long extended time, and start drinking, and I'm just not a good drunk.
That part.
The drunk part, not good for me. Not good for me.
Your daughter turned 18. She's going to take a gap year.
Sophia,
Yeah, and how are you supporting her through that? Because I feel like we don't talk a lot about that in this country. That's such a European thing where they really encourage the kids to take a gap year. So how are you all working through that?
So when Sophia graduated, she was only 17 years old when she graduated high school. And she had a really tough time in high school, and it affected her mental health. Yeah. Most of her high school years was during the pandemic, so she was stuck behind a computer. There was no socializing, and I think it really hurt a lot of our kids in schools. So she wanted to stay at home. Unfortunately, she thought a gap year was, just staying in your room for a year. I said, no, you got to work, you got to go to school, you got to do something, you got to get out there.
Yeah.
So it was the best thing she could have done for herself, for her own mental health. She is now enrolled in college, so she's started college already. She's in summer school. She starts full-time in August, and she's thriving.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear. So this season, I want to talk to you about Shannon.
Yeah.
A little dicey.
A little dicey.
How you doing?
It's unfortunate that everything that went down, and I was very good friends with Shannon for 10 years. And I know Shannon better than anybody knows Shannon. When Shannon got the DUI, I was on my way, when it was announced, I was on my way to do Traders. So I was on my way to go to Scotland. We were on the phone, we were crying together. It's hard.
Yeah.
She was a really good friend. And I mean, we were very, very close. And I worried that something like this would happen to her. And it did. And I'm just glad that nobody got hurt. But I felt like it was finally my time to be able to be very honest with her and tell her, listen, you need help.
Yeah.
You've been on the show for 10 years. Every year somebody has talked about your drinking. It is time to stop. And she did not take it that well that I said that. And I had to back out of the Trace Amiga show for several reasons. One, I'm extremely busy, so it was hard for me to commit to so many tour dates, but also because she was still drinking. And I thought, I'm not going to be that friend that's going to enable you, because you know what? This time, nobody got hurt. But next time, if there's a next time, I'm not going to be one of those people that are like, oh, you're okay, don't worry, you can have a few drinks. I don't want to be involved in that.
Had you had conversations with her before where you had expressed concern about
Yes.
her drinking?
Yeah. And what basically happened is, because I did that, she pretty much turned on me, started talking behind my back, saying horrible things about me. Nobody liked me. Nobody wants you on the show. And I'm like, I'm trying to help you. So I'm like, you know what? I need to take a step back and not be involved so closely with this. And when I found out that John and Alexis were dating, I sent Shannon a text. I said, I know we're not in a good place. I know this has got to hurt. I hope that you can enjoy your holidays. I'm so sorry for what you're going through. So it's not that I've ever turned my back on her, because I was there for her. I was there for her from the day she got her DUI, the day I got out of Traders. We did a show together. That's when I saw her drinking. The phone calls with her drunk were coming in, and I'm like, where's rock bottom?
Do you feel like there's any chance or hope for repair?
I think so. I mean, I hope so. It gets really ugly with us this year. It gets really bad. There's some good times, but it ends really bad. So I just hope that she gets the help she needs.
Hard for you to watch back this season?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, because you haven't seen it. You watch when we watch, right? Or do you get a little advance?
I get a couple days notice. Like, I've already seen this week's episode.
And?
You will see me sit down. You will see me sit down with my husband, and I'm teary-eyed, and he said, listen, you got to understand that this isn't your problem. You can't help her. And if she's not rock bottom yet, then it's going to take her, something else happening.
Are we also going to see you and Jennifer mend fences?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And I know it was a little rough on her last year, but it was really from a place of concern. And if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't have gone that route. But I do care about her, and I want only the best for her. And you'll see as the episode goes on, we are very close, and we are talking again. And I thought we had a really good season for the most part.
What about Eddie and Ryan? How are things going with them?
Not well. Yeah, Eddie just doesn't have any desire to be around somebody like that. It's just, he's not around toxic people. He's like, no thank you. And then we all see what all comes out about him. So.
And what about Emily? We see your bond going close with her.
Emily, I'm really good with everybody on the cast. Like Emily, Gina, we've always been, we've always had a good friendship. And Emily and I have gotten closer because Teddy and I have a network on iHeart, and we hired Emily to do a podcast under our network. And so our bond has gotten closer. I think that Emily is so funny, and the two of us together, we have some really funny moments.
That's awesome. Is there anything, when you reflect back on this season, that was a highlight for you?
I think the biggest highlight is just having Sophia on the show, because what people don't know, and I get accused of this all the time, oh, your kids don't talk to you. I'm like, yes, they do. I have one daughter, a strange daughter, that we do not speak, and that's been going on for 10 years. But Sophia, Spencer, Ryan, Spencer and Sophia have lived with me full time for years. Now Spencer's off at college. Ryan obviously is older. He's in his 30s, so he's been out of the house for years.
Yeah.
But Sophia had been in the background of me filming all the time. She would have to hide, and and it was really hard on her because she is a huge part of my life. She's my baby.
Yeah.
And it's now she's able to film, and I gave her the option. Is this something you want to do? I want you to know it's not that easy. There's backlash on social media. People are mean. They'll make fun of you no matter what. She's like, Mom, I don't care about that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care. And then we saw a little glimpse of my granddaughter Ava in a little Ring camera. I'm talking to her on the Ring camera.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How have you been able to manage that? Because as your presence and longevity on the show grew, so did people's opinions and social media feedback and nasty comments. How do you manage that over all these years?
I've gotten better at it. In the very beginning, I don't even think Instagram was around in the very beginning. I think it was like MySpace. But there's always negative comments. There's always people that are behind their keyboard feeling so strong to tell somebody off. And I always have to think, when was the last time me or anybody I know went on, let's say, the Kardashians page and started telling them that they're ugly and all these, never. I've never done that. And none of my friends have ever done that. So it's a really small group, like what 2% of the people in the world that are back on there saying mean things. I feel sorry for them. Their life is so miserable that they need to do that. I mean, constructive criticism is one thing. Like, hey, I don't think you handled that. Okay, whatever. But to say nasty, mean things, you're a horrible human, you're ugly, you're this, and I'm like, well, what are you? Really? What are you?
How long are you sticking around?
How long am I sticking around? You know what? I don't know. You never know.
If they asked you to come back next season, would you?
Yeah, I mean, probably if everything is aligned correctly, absolutely. We talk about moving to Big Bear full time, maybe, and so I don't know. You just never know what the following year brings to you. Maybe I'll sell my business and retire in Italy.
That sounds great.
I know. So you never know. You never know. But I love Bravo. I love my fans. I love the network. They've been good to me. I've had a great platform for 16, 17 years, I can't remember, years. I've built 2 businesses. I have everything documented pretty much in my life.
Gosh, what's that like?
That's crazy. I mean, it's, my kids run it in the early days. My mom, my dad, one day my mom and dad are not going to be around, and I'll have that actual footage where I can be like, there's my mom. So it's amazing.
Well, thank you for coming and hanging with us for a little bit.
Thank you for
it's great to have
having
you.
me.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Thank you.